This is Carl with the three things I'm watching for Thursday, September 25th. Starting to pay a lot more attention to interior corn basis here. I watch basis very, very closely this time of the year um, because a lot of times it'll tell you what the yields are more so than what the actual yield reports you get are. And guess what? Corn basis starting to tighten out west considerably. Reports yesterday, I got a train, a quick ship train, shuttle train, Iowa to Kansas, 90 over Dees futures. That does not tell me that Kansas has a record corn crop by any means. If you're paying 90 over for real corn the last full week of September, you're short. I don't think that the feeders are the only ones. It appears as though corn basis, the way it's tightening up, there's going to be a little bit of concern in this market. Um, Yield, quality, and I think that some buyers across the market underestimated the ability of the U.S. farmer to store corn. And I think all of a sudden they're starting to realize that these new shiny bins are going to get used this year. Basis is going to get choppy. That's my opinion. Second thing I'm watching, and this is the corn exports to Mexico. Now, a lot of naysayers in the market keep saying we don't have any corn demand. We've just had 4 days of really good flash sales on corn. Our export sales well above last year. You can't say we don't have corn demand. Anybody that says that, turn them off. They're being absolutely ridiculous. Here's the thing. And this is going to be a little bit long, so bear with me. There is concern right now in the next WASDE report that the USDA is going to cut feed demand on corn because we're not feeding as many animals and we're not importing from Mexico. I can go along with that. But I'm going to tell you right now, every bushel that the USDA cuts off feed demand in the United States, they'd better add to exports going into Mexico because that is where the cattle are getting fattened at. That is why Mexico is buying corn from us. 75–80% of the Mexican corn crop is white corn for food usage. They don't have that much feed corn on hand. And right now, they're down. The United States did import about 100,000 head of feeder cattle out of Mexico per month. So you take when the ban has been placed, these are cattle that the Mexican government or whoever owns them, feeders, have to finish out. It takes corn. They're going to need that corn from the United States. Once again, the next set of balance sheets, like I said, if the USDA cuts our corn feed demand in the United States, they had better raise exports an equal amount because that is where the corn is going. The real only change, in my opinion, that can be altered at this point in the balance sheets is residual on corn. And I don't think we have enough that we can cut there to make up for the yield losses we're seeing. Stay tuned. I think corn is going to get pretty dicey here in a while. Third and final thing, and just a little bit off the wall one. Keep an eye on the Russian diesel fuel supply. Russia is running out of diesel fuel. Guess what? They got some crops to harvest. This could end up being not a huge factor in the Russian crops or their farming or the world balance sheets, but if they don't have fuel to harvest, they probably don't have fuel to get the crop to the ports. Apparently, maybe everything isn't going so well in Russia, and this war is starting to take its toll on them. We'll see if that has anything to do. Those are the three things I'm watching today.